The grand ballroom of the Hawthorne estate was alive with laughter, music, and the clinking of champagne glasses. It was a celebration fit for royalty, or at least for someone as wealthy and influential as Victor Hawthorne. His 50th birthday party was the social event of the year, attended by the city's elite. Politicians, business tycoons, celebrities, and even a few faces from the underworld. The room glittered with opulence, from the crystal chandeliers to the gold-trimmed table settings. But beneath the surface of this lavish affair, secrets simmered and tensions ran high. Detective Marcus Kane stood near the bar, sipping a glass of whiskey and observing the crowd. He wasn't there as a guest. Victor Hawthorne had hired him as extra security for the evening, a precaution after receiving a series of threatening letters. Marcus had tried to convince Victor to cancel the party, but the man was stubborn. "I won't let some coward scare me," Victor had said. "Besides, the show must go on." Marcus scanned the room, his sharp eyes catching every detail. Victor was holding court at the center of the ballroom, his booming laughter cutting through the chatter. His wife, Evelyn, stood beside him, her smile tight and her eyes distant. Their son, Daniel, a brooding young man in his mid-20s, lingered near the edge of the crowd, nursing a drink and avoiding eye contact. Marcus made a mental note of each of them, along with a few other key players. Victor's business partner, Gregory Lang, who seemed unusually tense. Victor's estranged sister, Margaret, who had shown up uninvited. And a mysterious woman in a red dress who had been watching Victor all night. At exactly 9:15 p.m., the lights dimmed and a spotlight illuminated the stage. A jazz band began to play and Victor took the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, his voice commanding the room, "thank you for being here tonight. 50 years is a long time, and I've been blessed with success, family, and friends, but the best is yet to come." The crowd erupted into applause, but Marcus noticed something strange. Victor's hand trembled as he raised his glass for a toast. His face was pale, and beads of sweat dotted his forehead. Before Marcus could react, Victor's glass slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. He clutched his chest, gasping for air, and collapsed. Chaos erupted. Guests screamed, and the band stopped playing. Marcus rushed to Victor's side, but it was too late. Victor Hawthorne was dead. The investigation begins. The police arrived within minutes, cordoning off the ballroom and questioning the guests. Marcus stayed close, observing the scene and taking mental notes. The coroner's preliminary report confirmed what Marcus had suspected. Victor had been poisoned. The question was who had done it and how. Detective Clara Hayes, Marcus's former partner and occasional rival, was assigned to the case. She approached him with a raised eyebrow. "Fancy seeing you here, Kane. You always seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time." "Or the right place," Marcus replied. "Victor hired me as security. He was worried about threats." Clara nodded, her expression serious. "Well, someone made good on those threats. Let's figure out who." Together they began piecing together the events of the evening. The poison had been administered through Victor's champagne glass, which meant the killer had to have access to it. Marcus recalled the mysterious woman in the red dress and scanned the room for her, but she was nowhere to be found. "We need to talk to the family," Clara said. "They're always the first suspects." The family secret's Evelyn Hawthorne was the picture of composure. her hands folded neatly in her lap as she answered their questions. Victor was a difficult man, she admitted, but I loved him. We had our problems, but I would never hurt him. Marcus wasn't convinced. He had seen the way Evelyn's eyes had darted toward Gregory Lang during the party, and the tension between them was palpable. When they questioned Gregory, he was evasive, his answers carefully measured. Victor and I had our disagreements, he said, but we were partners. His success was my success. Daniel Hawthorne was another story. The young man was clearly shaken, his hands trembling as he lit a cigarette. My father was a tyrant, he said bitterly. He controlled every aspect of my life. But I didn't kill him. I didn't have the guts. Marcus and Clara exchanged a glance. Daniel's resentment was obvious, but was it enough to drive him to murder? Then there was Margaret Hawthorne, Victor's estranged sister. She had shown up uninvited, and her presence had clearly unsettled Victor. My brother and I hadn't spoken in years, she said, but I wanted to make peace. I didn't expect this. The red dress. The mysterious woman in the red dress remained a puzzle. No one seemed to know who she was or how she had gotten into the party. Marcus reviewed the security footage and spotted her slipping out a side door shortly after Victor's collapse. He recognized her face. It was Isabella Moretti, a known associate of the city's most powerful crime family. Victor had ties to the mob? Clara asked, surprised. Not that I knew of, Marcus replied. But it looks like we've got a new lead. They tracked Isabella to a dimly lit nightclub on the outskirts of the city. She was sitting at the bar, her red dress replaced by a sleek black outfit. When Marcus and Clara approached, she smirked. I was wondering when you'd show up. Care to explain why you were at Victor Hawthorne's party? Marcus asked. Isabella shrugged. I was hired to deliver a message, that's all. A message? Clara pressed. Victor owed money to the wrong people, Isabella said. He thought he could outsmart them, but he was wrong. The boss wanted to send a clear message: no one crosses us and lives. The final piece back at the station, Marcus and Clara reviewed the evidence. The mob connection explained the poisoning, but something still didn't add up. Why had Victor been so nervous before his speech? And why had Evelyn and Gregory been so tense? They decided to confront Evelyn one more time. This time she broke down. Victor was in trouble, she admitted. He had been embezzling money from the company to pay off his debts. Gregory found out and threatened to expose him. I think Victor was planning to run away. And you? Clara asked. What were you planning? Evelyn hesitated. I wanted to protect my son. Victor's actions would have ruined Daniel's future. I may have told Gregory about Victor's plan to flee. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Did Gregory poison Victor? Evelyn shook her head. No. But he knew the mob was coming for Victor. He didn't stop them. The truth revealed in the end. Isabella Moretti was arrested for her role in the murder, but the real mastermind remained elusive. The mob had sent their message, and Victor Hawthorne had paid the price for his greed and arrogance. Evelyn and Daniel were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives while Gregory Lang walked away unscathed, his secrets buried with Victor. As Marcus stood outside the Hawthorne estate watching the sun rise over the city, He couldn't shake them, feeling that justice had only been partially served. The birthday party had been a facade, a glittering mask hiding the darkness beneath. And in that darkness, the truth had been lost. "You can't save everyone," Clara said, joining him on the steps. "I know," Marcus replied. "But I can. Try." The two detectives walked away, their partnership renewed by the case. The city was full of secrets, and they were determined to uncover them, one murder at a time.